Alright, Knockhill. Beware your safety rating numbers. This is awful hard on them. Lots of X's here to be had. Track's 21 degrees. I've seen it down 19, I think maybe 24 on the high side, so this is sort of in the middle. So take that into account. Gonna do a 54.6, hot tires, low fuel, all that stuff. So go through the corners in slow-mo, then run it out at full speed, and just maybe touch on a few of the cold tire bits. So coming into turn 1 here off the straight in 4th gear. If you're drafting off someone, you might be up into 5th, but normally I hold it in 4th. So looking for this blue cone, just to get your bearings. You can get over into the pit lane exit here. You won't get into trouble. And basically, I'm looking for the edge of the sand here. Some people go a little deeper and start braking sort of at this little outshoot of sand here. But getting on the brakes. 4th gear. Again, if you're in 5th, watch that. Cold tires, again, make sure you give it maybe a little bit more brakes or a little earlier on the brakes. And turning in, just kind of at this, past this little bit sticking out here. You really want to make sure, though, wherever you're braking, make sure the wheel is straight. You want to get most of your braking done up top here, with the wheel as straight as possible, because otherwise you'll lose your back end if you're on the brakes. You know, when you're getting up to the crest of this hill. So get your braking done. You want to aim. I aim for this blue bit of curbs. I think some people will take the red part. I don't like to do it. It unsettles the car. Just too unpredictable. Certainly when the tires are cold, you probably want to stay off that red stuff. It really unsettles the car, and when you have low grip, when the car gets back on the pavement, it can be a disaster. So yeah, 4th gear, shifting down into 3rd, coming down here, you'll see it in the full speed, getting on a bit of gas, and just sort of feathering the throttle, just keeping the car, trying to keep that back end under control. Aiming for these markers standing up, you basically want to run over them. You can get onto the sandy bit here, but if you go any more to the left onto that grass, you're going to get an X. Again, on cold tires, the red curbs here, whether they're the real sausage ones or a little bit of these flatter ones, they are really slick on your tires. So the first 3 laps or so, you may not want to get too aggressive on them. If you want to see how to spin out, you can watch my Knockhill race, spinner Knockhill. I make a pretty good mistake there. So shifting down into 2nd, looking for this blue curb here, just to start slowing the car down a little bit, just past that blue curb. Shifting down into 2nd here. Pretty good on the brakes. You want to slow the car down quite a bit before the turn-in so you can get on the power early. And again, just sort of feathering on the throttle. I don't like to get on to that sausage curb. That one unsettles the car too much, I find. So right up against it, as close as you can. And basically it takes some practice feeling how much throttle you can put in and how cold your tires are. The colder they are, you will understeer, and if you get on that sand, it's trouble. You can recover it, but it is not going to be a fun time. You can use the green strip here. You won't get an X, but if you're over that, you will. And then working way up into 3rd gear, and again going for the blue curb here. Again, I don't like that red sausage curb. That one unsettles the car too much coming into the next one. Coming into the next one here, I do actually like to shift up into 4th. I find that way when you get to the crest of the hill, if you're in third, especially when the tires are cold, you can light up the back end a bit and spin yourself out. Whereas if you're in fourth, it's just a lot smoother. And again, you want to smash these posts. I could have turned in a little bit more at this third one. This is sort of the one you're looking for, this third one, to turn in. Went fast forward there. You want to turn in at this third one, and this red sausage curb, I do actually like to use this one. You can go over this. You just have to watch your wheel input, especially again cold tires. When you get on the pavement, it's easy to spin it out. So yeah, I just got up sort of against the red curb here, but you can actually go on top of it a little more than that. It cuts the corner a bit, and you can keep the wheel a little straighter than what I have it right now. And then basically, you don't, even in fourth gear, you don't want to be gunning the throttle, especially the colder the tires are. But if you're in third gear, again, that's where you have to watch out. You can actually spin the back end up here pretty easy, especially when they're cold. And so yeah, in fourth gear, don't have to shift up. Use all of this green bit here. Again, don't go over it though. And you got to get back onto the pavement before getting onto this sand. So fourth gear, basically at the start of this, just giving it a little dab of brakes, and then looking for sort of this kink in the blue curb. That's where I want to be down into third gear, and then turning in. So pretty good on the brakes, and then just picking up the throttle nice and early. Just had to sort of do a little brake and throttle management there. And on cold tires, again, you might not want to get too much of this red curb going, but once the tires are warm, you want your tire right up against it, right on top of it, but you don't want to go over it. If you go over it, the car really gets unstable, I find, and you also risk the X. And then just shifting up into fourth here, using all this green stuff. And again, you want to be on the pavement before the curb and the green stuff end, otherwise you get the X. I think you can use this little patch of pavement there. And so coming up into the final corner, stay left obviously for the fastest line, but if you're defending or if you're going to try and overtake someone, practice being on the right hand side. So basically coming into this one, this Marshall box is or concession stand, whatever it is probably your best bet for a braking marker. I like to brake just before it. You can have some practice where between the sand and the curb, come sort of in the middle, but if there's a car in front of you, that's kind of hard to spot. So this stand is a pretty good marker. Braking, I brake just before it. If you can go a little deeper, good for you. I can't do it and keep the car very stable. And braking down into eventually into first gear, you got to get pretty hard on the brakes though, because this is actually kind of downhill, and it's also easy to lock your wheels up, so you may have to adjust your brake bias if you find you're locking up too much. And then basically from fourth gear, shifting down into first, looking for this the start of this inside curb. Want to be in first gear and starting to pick up the throttle. On cold tires, yeah, well, I'm not really, there we go, picking up the throttle now. On cold tires, you really have to watch this one. If you get on the throttle too quickly, if you just stomp on the pedal, you can spin your back end pretty easy. especially on cold tires, but even when the tires are warm, you have to watch how much you're putting in on the throttle, because you can lose that back end. And even if you don't lose it, just spinning the tires isn't going to get you going any faster. So try and keep the spinning to a minimum. And you basically just real late apex, getting onto the blue stuff here, maybe just a little bit. And then just working way up to full throttle once you kind of get some of the turn out of your steering wheel. And you can use all that blue curb and green stuff on the edge there. And then just basically a race to the line. Again, left side's the racing line, but right side if you're defending or trying to overtake. And that's 54.6. So pretty decent time. There's more time out there. Certainly the aliens probably even busting 54, but if you're getting stuck in the 55s, 56, 57s, hopefully you can find something there to help take some time off. So we'll see you out there, hopefully without smashing into one another, because boy, this is a tough track to keep clean racing. So we'll see you next time.